Hi guys, this is the guy 1013 here with another deck profile video. Now this is Dark Irregulars. If you've watched my stream, you've seen me play this deck recently. If you watch a recent YouTube video, technically it's a stream VOD of clan battles, you've seen how powerful this deck is. This inspired me to build my own. Literally build my own. I think it's like near 1-to-1 to what they have. I can't get their actual deck list. That's more or less, since I saw all these cards you see here, they've been used in the clan battles. Except for like maybe my filler cards. There's so many filler cards here because it's like if you're gonna try and complete this deck, you're gonna run 4 Balam, which is your first stride and a possible finisher. The reason why he has a first stride because his first stride skill is Persona, makes you run 2 at least, lets you soul charge 2 cards for each face-up card in your G zone, and allows you to retire a card. Right, remember, lets you to allow you to retire a card. Yeah, it says retire one of your puncher cards. Then it gets a extra drive, so it's a quad drive. So you retire your opponent's front row, you get 4 drive checks, and you draw a card when it swings. And since we're running 9 stands, we can use Baleful Repressor, but most likely not always, because we have to push our opponent to 5 to maximize Baleful Repressor, or at least 4. Then our next card is Blader Mouse, our real finisher, because he is a restander and his skill is Counter Blast 1 Persona. That's why you need 2. You can also run 4 of this if you want to complete the deck, and put 2 cards from your hand into your soul. So you need 2 cards in hand. So it's gonna be spicy since we don't run draw triggers. We run 9 stands. And to your soul, and to return all regards and cards with triggers from your soul to your deck. So it makes your deck mostly made of triggers, which is nice, and gives plus 2k, gives plus 5k to 2 units. And at the end of the battle, stand this unit, draws a card, and it gets a crit and drive minus 2. So first check 3 drive, so you have 3 chances to get the stand trigger. Second time, you only get 1 chance, so you have to make it work. Then our next 2 of is Gilderace. He's a Persona. The difference is he doesn't require a Counter Blast, so yay. He's basically a Glory card, Glory Maelstrom card, where your opponent has to ditch a grade 3 in their hand, or they can't block this, but of course they can block with heal guards. So heal guards weakens this. So yeah. And he gains plus 10k. It's like soul, like no soul, 1 crit. 10 plus 10. 13 makes it a glory. Same thing with Balam. Balam has a GB3 skill. 13 soul has a glory skill. Then our next card is our board wipe, which I haven't seen people use actually this card. I haven't seen people actually use this card. It's a GB2 card, so it's a second stride card automatically. Second stride card. It has a glory skill as well. So we have 3 ways to do glory by the looks of it. It has a board wipe, but that requires stencil, which we can get to within the first or second stride. Speaking of first strides, if we can't do Balam because we don't have Counter Blast, or our opponent has no front row rigor to retire, we go to this guy, Lugyrus or Luhyrus, depending on your pronunciation. It flips another card face up, soul charges 3, and you can give plus 5k to a unit. You can pick plus 5,000. You can give 5,000 to a rear guard for each. No, you can choose up to the amount of different grades you soul charge, and those units can get plus 5,000 power. If one of them is darkness, you can get a grade 3 from your soul and add it to your hand. So if you can't stride next turn, perfect way to be able to stride next turn. Then we have the crit. This guy here is a filler, but he's also he doesn't flip, but his skill is gets 1000 for each card in your soul. If total power is 10,000, so 10 cards in soul, he gets a crit. And all of your units in the front, all of your front row regards get plus 5k, which is okay. Then we have this card. When this unit attacks, soul charge 2, darkness. One of your units gets 5,000. Nice. Until the end of turn, for every 4 cards in your soul, you'll start your more cards. Oh my, so I can pick unit. If it's a 13, so that's already 3. So it gains 15,000 power. Turn cards a card each with different grades up to 4 cards. So a grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. From your soul, addition gets 4,000 for each card. That's the reason why I added it, because decking out is a major problem with Dark Irregulars. Then we have this card, another first strike card, Darkness. When this unit attacks, soul charge 2, and it has if 6 or more soul, you can retire a card, but it's random. 10 or more soul, it just gets 1,000 for each card in the soul. Then the generic Harmonic Messiah card, which should be in every deck. If you can't find space for it, make space for it. That's talking like just a G-Zone, but in the end, you're only just gonna use Balam or Blader Mouse, realistically. The one-ofs is either these two you're gonna use the most. It's either Lugiris or Irregulars. Then, time for grade 3s. This is the thing you want to ride. This is the thing you want to ride, because he allows you to use your soul as a second hand. You soul charge 2, you can pick a card in your soul, and you switch it with a card in your hand. The best combo doing that is if you have this card, where Tiger Jaeger, you put in from your hand to the soul. He activates his skill, counter +1, you draw a card. Because you draw a card. That's why I don't run Grim the Reaper. I think we're gonna use too much counter blast for Grim the Reaper to be viable. Because of where Tiger Jaeger. That's the main combo. And at the end of turn, if you have 8 or more souls, return 3 cards at random from your drop zone and countercharge 1. Which is nice. And if you don't know what darkness is just a state of being of your Vanguard. And how to be darkness? Soul charge 1 card. Even riding card is technically making your Vanguard darkness. Or is it state of being of your board? Who knows? Don't you know it's darkness? You just need soul charge 1. This is Gastil, a very powerful card. His hand ability is the best, where you can pick 2 cards, put them into your deck from your soul, and he gains those abilities. So if you pick 2 Baleful Repressors, he gets his ability twice. So he gets the power bonus twice. So he gets plus 20k. So 31k. Then 2 copies of Sin Charlotte, because the other Charlotte is not as good. And this guy has a rearguard ability that basically makes him a Baleful Repressor, but weaker because it's 5k. But he still has a pretty good on-stride ability, which allows you to soul charge 2 for more cards with darkness, retire 1 opponent's regard at random, and return 3 cards. If it's 10 more soul, you countercharge. So basically a weaker version of the one we want to ride. Now grade 2s finally. We're already at halfway point. Succubus of Jealousy is our main ride target for grade 2 because of our skill of looking at the top 5, picking 2 cards among them that have darkness, and putting it into our soul. So majority of the time when you're at grade 2, you have at least 1 damage. Unless your opponent is damage denying you, then you can add where Tiger Jaeger to do the counter +1 and draw a card. And also allows you to filter your deck, making your deck mostly made of triggers, which makes this deck even stronger because you're manipulating probability. Then she has a darkness skill that makes her an 11k beater. With a trigger. We already know what Painful Repressor does, since I've been talking about it. Then Executioner, similar to Succubus of Jealousy, except you can only add one card, but you can check the top 7. It has also be Darkness as well, so majority of the cards in the deck is Darkness. The only cards that are not Darkness is the Heal Guards and the 2 Stride Fathers here that searches for Charlotte. Then last one here is Tragic Claw. Tragic Claw, you can replace Tragic Claw with Grim the Reaper or any other card. I can't think. The reason I added because it's Darkness, it's Soul Charges, and it has ability where if it's Darkness, it is a 11k booster as long as it's 13 cards in Soul. Executioner has another skill that gives him plus 5k if you count plus 1, but if you need to have 10 souls. If you only have 6 souls, it's only plus 2k. So it's 11k beater to a 14k beater. Not that big. Then we have the Perfect Guard, Succubus of Avarice. You want her because you might have to pick her to soul charge, but she can recycle herself from the soul to the hand. But you have to retire a grade 1 or less trigger, so you have to call Heal Guard to add her back or something. There's another Darkness PG that you can use. I forgot them, but one of them allows you to draw if you have a copy of itself, and the other one returns cards to your deck. But problem is it has no way to get itself from the soul because you will soul charge a lot, and majority of the time most if not all your good cards are in your soul, and the only other way to get cards from your soul is either using Gastile's skill, but Gastile's skill puts those cards in your deck, not in your hand, or the starter, which is the reason why you run this card instead of the assassin card. I used to run the assassin, thought that extra attack would do something, turns out it does nothing because the attack power is just too weak. Where Tiger Jäger, Stride Father, I've been talking about it, you should know what it does already. But to explain even further, the main skill we want, its skill is when it goes to the soul, counter plus 1, draw a card. Sadly, it does not work when you ride something on top of it, because technically that goes to the soul. It doesn't do that. So when riding your grade 1, you either pick this card, our back row interceptor, who can only be a back row interceptor at 10 souls or more, and 6 souls it's a 10k beater or booster, or our Charlotte searching Stride Father. These two are your main ride targets. You might even have to ride the Perfect Guard, because this card you want to either pay for stride cost or to use it with our main ride target. 13 minutes of just explaining the deck. And the reason why we run stands, even though I'm a lover of crits, it's because you need stands to use Baleful Repressor. Baleful Repressor is the main reason why we run stands. And the fact that in the late game stands are better than crits. Can I put Dust instead as well? Since I have so many 1-ups in the deck, you can replace one of those with Dusk. But Dusk is quite weak in 0 though. Okay. We're getting Bermuda Triangle, which is going to be hard. This Bermuda Triangle is like a top tier deck. We're also a top tier deck, so there's a chance this hand is good. Unless it's a VP farmer. It's a VP farmer. Oh, it's not. It is Carl, one of the best builds for Bermuda Triangle right now. Okay, riding this card or 10k booster slash back row intercept because we want to use Jaeger with our main ride. Damn, I talk so much by explaining 13 minutes straight of just talking about the deck. I don't know if I explained it properly. That's why I have this wall of text to my right. That wall of text. I thought that was enough. Turns out it wasn't. He's dry or she's dry. You never know. Oh my gosh, we draw our main right target. Okay. Mm. Calling this card here. Yes. Boom. Soul charge. We draw a card. Swing. Even if you get stun trigger, it'll be useless. That's a benefit of crits over stun. You can use it when your opponent has a very high powered Vanguard, which is 10k base. Or thankfully not many people run 11k base Vanguards. But again, the only good one is like Brutal Jack. By the way, in the Japanese, he's called Genocide Jack, which got censored most likely because genocide is such a strong word. The Japanese episode of OG Vanguard was very nice. Even the reboot version of it, it's still nice. It gave us a lot of memes, meme platforms, formats, or something. We're taking damage, but doesn't matter. Still in the early game. The main fun is when we start striding. Okay, formation. I'm gonna write this for one reason. Oh my gosh. I just realized I chose poorly. I freaking choose poorly. Since I could have tried Balam and I would have gotten the same thing. Not really, by looks of it, since it's random and it killed the card I didn't want it to kill, so. I forgot it only works if I have a darkness. Oh well. Do I have 10 cards in soul? Oh, just need 8 cards. Neat. Give me a stand. It does not give me a stand. My opponent's now at 4. I can kill it with either Balam or Bluddermouth, possibly. I still have a Baleful Repressor, and I can get one from my soul. So we're only at 2 damage. They can't kill us at 2 damage. I think. I haven't faced Bermuda. If I did, I never paid attention. So I'm not really sure. I still can't believe they're closing the servers. Yes, the game is ending. If you're a Vanguard player, you would know that. Or if you're watching this in the future, you might know that since you would be trying to download the game and you can't. Unless it somehow stays alive past its end date. Hmm. We just need to wait for opponent to do their thing, swing, and pass it back to us. Because like the only way for us to lose this is our opponent swinging at least over 3 times. Has a crit. The opponent has a crit, so the Vanguard swing will push me to 4. Does he run stands as well? Nope. They run crit, so unless this can bounce back cards. Can this bounce back cards? Or card. Okay, it doesn't bounce. I think it doesn't bounce. I just skimmed through it. Pushing. I'll now be striding Balam. I'm keeping the card because this thing can retire. Okay, swinging 19,000. Ouch. 33,000. This will automatically be a guard, but this is 19. This is percent 29. Not enough to that, so I need to give the part there. Heal guard, giving the part to the Vanguard. Thing. Oh, heal guard. Oh well. PG, we did nothing and we're at 4. But we seen that there's no multi attack unless they use a card that can multi attack, like they bounce back a card and calls it. They might have that. There's like a generic card, forgot her name. But there is that generic card that's a GR. The customer said oh my gosh, I just played the video, forgot it was recording. Oh well. I have 2 heal guards. No wait, I have 4 intercepts. I have 4 intercepts. So unless they have a way to retire before the Vanguard swings or bounces back a card to my hand, I have 4 intercepts. They have to attack 4 times just to get through. Meaning they have to attack 5 times to deal 1 point of damage to me. Okay, the core can bounce back cards, but it's only during the main phase. But that's why people run Commander, Tavas, and Aqua Force. At least for the Tavas players, since Maelstrom's Lordly Maelstrom skill allows you to restand a blue storm rearguard after attacks, regardless if it's Vanguard or rearguard. Okay, that's one. Can ignore intercepts. I can ignore intercepts. Wait. How is it able to hit? I have hill guards though. I have a perfect guard. But the more you know. Damn, I thought I would have survived, but those cards can ignore intercepts. I forgot some cards like that exist. So that's how they bypass it. They just ignore intercepts. Cards like that are kind of useless at TCG, so we don't really see them getting played, but damn. Because Zero's mechanic, those cards are becoming very good. I could have ranked up with that game. Oh well, game 2. Should I go with the one who proceeds towards daybreak, or the one who scatters sins as the right target? Maybe I should have gone with the one who goes daybreak, because I would have been able to access my soul. Gear Chronicle. I saw this deck in clan battles. Did they do anything to Dark Irregulars? No. Because they don't have an okayish first stride. No, they do have an okayish first stride. They can do multi-attack. Maybe I was just not in my right mind when I commentated or viewed that commentated or was viewing that game. I have a playable Gear Chronicle deck. Problem is my strides not good. So he picks that dragon instead of the unicorn. I also picked that because like the 10k base really stops a lot of aggro play at the grade 2 turns. The only downside of stand triggers, there's no defensive advantage. And also they have no bonuses in the early game at all. They're only used for the late game. Here I am complaining about stand triggers when I did the 3 or 4 games I did earlier today when I was streaming. They did good. They did good. That's the problem with streamers. Every time we try to record a video, all the good games are in our streams, not in our recorded video content. So we get to straight first, so opponent has a heal guard at least, which is useless to hit them. Right. Go to Balam. I might get a second pair of Balam since I've like over 4k gems, and I think I'm using my gems for the set where Balam comes from. Okay. Soul charging 2 cards. Persona flip. I will soul charge 2 cards. Then nothing swing. 11,000. I push him to 5th damage now so I can kill him next turn. And the reason why you can sometimes hear my breathing or not is because my mom is here while I'm recording. So it's a battle if you can hear my voice or not. Okay, first try. Pegasus. It does nothing. Sure, it calls you cards, but it does not give you multi-attack. He has a big hand already as it, so he's okay. You can just hard call those cards. Oh well. I'll survive, then kill him with Blader Mouse next turn. Why does he have the unicorn? The unicorn has no skills because of the choice restrict. Hope I can soldier some baleful repressors. I did not soul charge any baleful repressors. I have to call one and putting this. Risking it, man. I'm risking everything. Calling this card here. Calling this card here. Soul charge. I draw a card. Okay, let's check. Does this card? It doesn't require soul. Okay, I'm overhand already, so tried fodder here. Killing this thing. Okay, calling this and this. Okay. Why this card doesn't have... Oh. This thing has a choice restriction? Didn't know that. That thing has a choice restriction. Can't believe that has a choice restriction. I can't believe this has a choice restriction. I have 3 PGs, 2 heal guards, 1 grade 3. And there's no glory type skill for that, for Gear Chronicle. And he can't do heritage yet. Heritage is a third stride at best. Unless hill guards were implemented, sadly hill guards were never implemented. That's why you only have Fighters Collection 2, because Fighters Collection 3 introduced the heal guards. By looks of it, he's trying to kill me now, instead of trying to prep for heritage. That sadly, he didn't change his deck because this card has no skill. This card has no skill. That's the reason why I was able to push him so hard. If only my deck was more responsive by giving me 2 stun triggers instead of heals. Okay, do I have baleful repressors in my soul? I have no baleful repressors in my soul. Let us see what this card does. Must to bind a card. If you bind a grade 0, your opponent cannot cover grade 0 card during turn. If you bind a grade 1, your opponent chooses a grade 2 or greater card from their hand. So I was at 5. I'm going with Gilderay. Only one that has a possible chance of making this into a semi-usable play right now. Let's check. I have 1 stun trigger. Thankfully, none of my cards can soul charge, so... Oh... So I'm hope for the best. I use Blader Moss and still I'm gonna deck out. Do you have a grade 3, my friend? I got the stun trigger. Why did I give power to there? I should have given power to here. He does have a grade 3. I win unless he heals at 6 damage. Yes, I won. Yes. He thought of killing me, which was a okay-ish play, but he needs to edit his deck. He needs to remove his choice restriction cards. Which reminds me, I need to remove my own Pegasus, because I feel Pegasus doesn't work with the back row intercepts of Gear Chronicle. There are so many one-offs in my stride, in my G zone. And I ranked up. I think this is good enough. Because if not, it's gonna be an hour-long video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and hope we see each other again in a different Vanguard game.